So, Mara,
Okay.
thank you so much again for joining us today for our very first vidcast. So, as discussed earlier, the goal of this discussion really is to help yung mga newly grads natin. As per, I think as per DepEd's last number, we're expecting around 21 million graduates this year, which is actually quite a big number. So, as you know, lahat yan expected to enter the workforce already. And I think us as as HR professionals, we can always I guess give them advice since we're
Mhm.
actually the ones identifying talents, and actually hopefully help them actually enter the workforce. Okay. But before we begin, Mara, perhaps we can give them like a brief overview kung like what we do currently. So yeah. Anyway, guys. You've been, for those who have been watching or hearing our podcast, you already know me. My name is JR. So I've been part of the Vox community for quite some time. So you probably know me more as a writer, creative, and a host of Vox podcast. But actually, in my I guess my day job, I work in HR. Same with Maro. Currently, I'm the recruitment manager for a real estate firm, and I've been doing recruitment for almost 11 years. So don't worry, my advice has some weight kasi I've been identifying talents for 11 years na din. And I was also once a fresh grad trying to also find luck in the workforce. So, and I've also interviewed also a lot of fresh graduates as well. Yeah. So that's my background. How about you, Maro?
Yeah, so I'm Maro. Hello. I've been in the HR for same with JR, 11 years now, I think. I
Mm.
think. Yeah, but currently I'm country HR manager for Trip.com Philippines. And I guess a lot of people could relate to this, especially as you mentioned the fresh graduates or those who will be graduating from college, especially that we all went through the phase wherein we thought we had everything figured out. 'Di ba? Na
Yes.
parang before graduating, we thought na parang, okay, this is the plan. By
Mhm.
this age, I'm already at this level. Na
Mhm.
parang yun nga, everything was planned out. And we thought that it will pan out the way that we wanted it to. But there will come a point in your life that you will be drastically pulled into the reality and be more practical in your
Mhm.
decisions as you progressed, particularly in your career path. So I hope that this is something or this is an avenue where you will be able to realize
Mhm.
that that your goals can still stay the same but
Mhm.
will change as you move forward and move
Mhm.
up the career ladder. So yeah.
Right. We're not saying obviously na you shouldn't follow your dreams. It's just that I think based on experience then with us being in this industry for how many years now, um, your goals can still be goals, right? It's just that you can always tweak it, with whatever happens. And I think Maro and I can attest to that because our career paths didn't really pan out the way that I guess we expected it to. Pero let's talk about it, Maro, from the very beginning. So like I mentioned, we have like 21 million graduates in the Philippines. And if you think about it, sobrang laking number nung
Mhm.
21 million yun. And at one point in our lives, part din tayo nun na 21 million. And ako, I'm a graduate of sociology. Ikaw, Maro, what did you take up in college?
BS Nursing. And imagine, ang daming nag-nursing ng mga panahon natin na yun, like
Mm.
2006 to 2010.
Mhm.
Diba? Yun yung parang boom na boom yung nursing course.
Okay, so take us back, perhaps I think more than 10 years ago. You were just bright-eyed fresh grad, di ba? Ano naramdaman mo, no, nung pagka-graduate mo with nursing? What were your initial thoughts after graduating? Yeah.
Well, it wasn't really a
Mm.
parang full-fledged accomplishment on my end because after graduation, we had to go through the board exam.
Mm.
So there was 2 months review, and then there was the dreaded board exam that we had to take, and then the results. But before graduating, I already had this realization na whatever happens, I had to land a job because I had
Yes.
to support my family. And you know the backstory of that, right? So
Mm.
ayun, parang I was very anxious I had this fear na parang with the competition, with all the nursing graduates out there, how can I even land a job that's close to my profession?
Right.
Diba? That's close to nurse. So, parang, or that's close to being a nurse. And then, on top of that, you had to go through the certifications, of course, the first aid, the basic life support, and all the certifications that you had to go through um, in order for you to really be a full-fledged nurse. So, I didn't think that it was practical for me. And so, I
Mhm.
really had to land a job that would basically support my family. Yun lang. Yun
Right.
talaga yung ano ko.
And I think, no, I mean, yes, this was more than, again, 10 years ago. Pero I'm sure mas madami pa din graduates ang makaka-relate. Isa yan sa mga naging problem natin now, I guess. It's not that we're not providing enough jobs, but there's definitely a lot of underemployment, as we call it, di ba, in the labor force na people are not being or doing jobs or getting opportunities in their respective fields. And like Mardo said, she graduated, as a nurse, she got the nursing licensure exam. But Mardo, did you ever practice nursing afterwards?
I think I did, like
Mm.
close to, but
Mm.
only a year, and it was
Mm.
the year before I even entered the human resources industry. Yeah.
Exactly. So looking back, Marlo, do you think it was the right decision for you na hindi mo na, well, we don't know what the future holds, right? But
Yeah.
obviously, for the longest time, you haven't practiced your nursing profession. Looking back in retrospect, do you think that was a good decision for you?
Yeah, I think it was a good decision for me. I mean, I've always lived a life without regrets.
Mm.
And so I think I landed, I think I made a good decision of not really practicing the course. I mean, it's still in my heart. It's something that I've always wanted to practice. I've always wanted to be a doctor pa nga eh, 'di ba?
Mm.
But yun, given the circumstances, di nag-nursing na nga for pre-med
Mm.
sana. But again, I had to be practical. I
Mm.
had to choose the right or the profession that would really, I'm sorry for the word, that would really, give me money in order to support my family.
Right. And I think, again, madami yung makaka-relate na students ito. And I seen it all the time. When we first entered our career in the BPO industry, like, can you even name like a percentage of the number of people, Mario, that we interviewed, mga fresh grads with a few years of experience na their first job really was with the BPO because they're saying that they really can't get like or land a job
Mm.
to a profession near their chosen course. And then yung iba naman, nakahanap sila pero like the salary is like really low. That's why parang they chose, di ba, to be part of, this type of industry instead.
Mm. Yeah, exactly. And I think it's more, parang the anxiety right now
Mhm.
is more prevalent considering na the unemployment rate in the Philippines, with the pandemic, surged to 8.7%.
Mhm.
So that translates to 4.14 million
Mhm.
jobless Filipinos out there. And this is not to scare anyone, but this is just to, really put it out there, and face reality na there, with the recovery that we're expecting this year, wala pa ring downward trend dun sa
Mhm.
unemployment rate natin.
Right.
So the competition is really high. Like the job demand is really high, but the
Mhm.
job supply is low.
Exactly. So I guess that's a testament to the fact na, obviously because of the pandemic, the job creation is low. The economy is not really doing that great. Kaya even if people, I guess, want, to get into a profession that they want, sometimes they don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Ayun. So, and for the most part naman, I mean, guys, we're not saying, I mean, siguro probably you think na, okay, yung mga HR kasi kayo, obviously
Mm.
you're part of the capitalist
Yeah.
like machinery, and obviously for you guys it's all about the profit. We're not stopping everyone, if you really have the capacity to really follow your dream and then also like succeed in your chosen profession, that's really great. We really need more people whose skills are more aligned, with what they study. It makes more sense. Pero we're also Kamari and I are coming from the reality na it doesn't always happen, and I think most of the time it doesn't happen. Okay, So Mara, perhaps to give us an example, you can share us with your story of how a country HR manager now started. Diba? I'm sure that you didn't start as a country HR manager. You mentioned you finish a nursing course and then you practice it for like a year, and then I know you also had like other jobs along the way before finding yourself in HR.
Yes, I did. So after taking up the board exam and even the results came out, I
Mm.
did apply for a medical representative post. So
Mm.
imagine that. And I all along I thought na okay, so this is something that's closely related to my course kasi medical eh, 'di ba? Parang I was very naive back then na parang medical, so maybe it's a medically aligned job as well. But it's not, it's sales. So,
Right.
'di ba? What was I doing back then? So,
Mm.
I did it didn't last long,
Mm.
only for a year, and then I got transferred to a real estate. But not in sales naman. This is more
Ah.
on back end post. So parang more on after sales position, like related to customer service.
Mm.
And then after that, I was supposed to join Accenture, but that was the time that I decided to, okay, maybe this is the time that I really have an hospital experience. And so I did join. Parang I chose the hospital job, earning 10,000 pesos in comparison to Accenture, which of course would
Mm.
hopefully give me more.
Mm.
But that was the time kasi that my siblings was also my one of my siblings pala was also graduating na, so parang medyo
Mm.
lumuluwag na yung responsibilidad.
Mm.
And so I decided to parang push through with the hospital experience, and that only lasted for also more than a year, I think a year and 4 months. And then an opportunity came, um parang just to try it out. Kasi 'di ba the Accenture din didn't materialize. And so
Mm.
parang maybe this time around baka naman. So I did got an opportunity with Teletech Philippines, and that's how it all started.
Mm.
Recruitment has always been my first love. We both, 'di ba, have
Mm.
that we both share that commonality na recruitment is always our first love, or has always been our first love. And parang that's the time that parang I decided that okay, this is something that I really want to do. And this is something that I'm proud of doing.
Mm.
Kasi parang for the first time, for the first time in my life, parang I was proud of being a recruiter. Parang
Mhm.
it's the only job that I was proud of doing. With all the jobs that I landed
Mm.
after graduation, parang it was the only thing that parang I saw myself doing for the longest time. And so, yun, that's how it came to be. Recruitment, and then yun nga, parang we work together na with Task Us
Mm.
and all that. And then I decided to parang why not explore other facets of HR? Diba?
Mhm.
HR is a very broad profession eh. So parang apart from recruitment, what else can I do? So parang that's when I decided to broaden my horizon and then explore all the other facets of HR. And then, yun na, long story short, I landed the job of country HR
Mm.
manager.
Mm.
So right now, I'm currently doing everything, all at once. And yeah, I have no regrets. This is
Mhm.
the job that I really wanted to. As I always tell the students
Mm.
that I speak with, parang yun nga, parang they are always shocked na parang, okay, nasa HR ka, pero nurse ka. Paano
Mm.
nangyari yun? Parang they always ask me, do you still want to go back? Given the chance, why not? But is it something that I would pursue given that I'm already at this point in my
Mhm.
life na parang I'm already, passionate about what I do. So I guess it's still there. But if you would ask me if I would weigh in, I would
Mm.
still choose HR.
Okay. Thanks for sharing that, Mario. Our stories obviously differ a bit. For me, naman, I've always been with recruitment with HR from the very beginning. But honestly, if you ask me, like, is it like my number one passion? Probably not. It's probably just one of my passions. But like I always told you, it's just so happens that I'm really good at it. That's why I was able to make it this far. But yeah, I mean, siguro the story naman for me is I know it's something that I know I can do really well, and I just really have grown to love it throughout the years, and that's why, like I mentioned, I made it to this level. So I'm currently the talent acquisition head now for Lumipi. So yeah, so if you can see guys yung path namin ni Mara, it's really just about taking in whatever opportunity there is and then like working really hard, hoping to
Yes.
really love the opportunity you're given, di ba? And then for me naman, I pursue my passion outside of working. Like at least I can pursue it creatively. Mardo still has her license, so she can practice at any time. What I have is my side hobbies that I always do. Just to make sure that if in the future I decide not to or to stop pursuing a corporate role, I can perhaps do something else. Okay. But enough about us, guys. For the listeners and watchers of this vidcast, Mari and I really created this episode to help everyone. Also feeling probably the same anxiety because we know we have been there, guys. Probably right now it's a bit worse for you because of this pandemic, but definitely we understand yung feeling na nape-pressure kayo na kailangan yung magtrabaho agad kasi that's how Philippine families work, di ba? Filipino families ang kailangan. If you graduate, you'll get now the responsibility, unfortunately, of either taking care of your parents or your siblings. So, ano na? So, what will happen, Mardo? So, let's just say a lot of our new graduates already did get their diploma.
Mm.
Let's say this, I think May, I think wala pa nag-graduate na around June or July. What do you
Yeah, I
think?
Nagbago na kasing
Mhm.
natin school year natin
Okay, what will be your first word of advice for all of these new grads? Let's make it step by step. What should they do first?
I think the first thing to do is to polish your resume. It's very important that you have something to present. For when you apply, diba? Especially everything made online na, everything is made easy, everything is just, one click away. So parang you have to really attach your CV. But how should that look like?
Yeah.
JR, how should that look like for you?
Oh my God. Ako na pala yung next na sasag. Alright. Okay, guys. So remember, Mara and I are both recruiters. So definitely this advice will be very important for you. So as much as possible, make your CVs or resumes concise. Okay? So hindi yun lang alam, but we cycle to like hundreds of applications per day. This is for very, very different positions. So, honestly, the longer your CV is, we expect that you have really long CV, mas marami kayong experience. But since fresh grad pa lang kayo, I expect your CV to just be one page. Just keep it
True.
page. Tanggalin nyo na yung pictures, guys. We know you're probably good looking. But honestly, unless necessary siya sa trabaho, you don't need to put on your CV. Do not put in any random personal information. You can just put your email and then your contact number so that we can contact you, but we don't actually even need your full address, your parents' names. These are information na not only are irrelevant, pero honestly, it can also be used against you, to be honest, for data privacy purposes. So yun na lang. Just put your, you can make it concise, put only the relevant experience. If you have since fresh grad pa lang kayo, most of you don't have work experience, but if you do, put it there. Put your internship, and then that's really what I want in a CV. How about you, Maro? Other things do you look for?
I guess the same. You don't have to put any personal information like your weight, your height. Hindi naman na namin kailangan malaman 'yon. We just really need to see a simple CV because honestly, as what JR has mentioned, sa dami ng pinaprocess namin na the daily, very quick scan lang yung ginagawa namin. If we think that the CV is relevant, then we shortlist it. Otherwise, then we put it on, our back files. But ganun lang siya dapat kasimple. And you don't also need to put character reference at the onset. Kasi that's something that we will ask of you naman if you proceed to the next level of the or if say you proceed to the pre-employment stage. And depende rin naman sa company if they would ask character references for background checking. But again, you don't need to put that at the onset. And for character reference also, please don't put your barangay chairman or anything na hindi naman talaga kilala ka, 'di ba?
Mm.
So, basically yun lang. Just make it as simple as possible. Maybe the soft skills, or if you had certifications during your internship, or if you gained any parang leadership seminar or whatnot, you can put that. But you don't have to really detail or make it as comprehensive.
Mm.
You don't need to put like soft skills na parang you're willing to learn,
Mm.
or kasi we already have that, 'di ba? Innate na sa atin 'yun eh. So you don't really have to put it out there because that's something that wouldn't really put an edge in your application. Yeah.
Right.
That's just on my end.
Mm. So, ayun, in addition to that, obviously, if you have any really helpful material that you can put there, although I think this will depend more siguro on some jobs. So, kunyari, if you are applying siguro for like a marketing, graphic designer, videographer position, it will be extremely helpful to have your portfolio linked somewhere or prepared na siya. So if you know hiring managers ask for, even if you're a fresh grad, I'm sure you have a portfolio that you can show. If you're a writer, perhaps you can also have like a portfolio like that. But again, siguro I guess the best ano dito is just put whatever is necessary. Pag-isipan nyo mabuti guys. Like do the hiring managers, do my preferred company really need to know what my height and weight is? Diba hindi naman. So let's step away from the traditional ways of putting CVs. Kasi nga, honestly, it will really won't make you stand out. What will make you stand out really is the skills. And most of the time naman that will come in during the interview. Okay, so meron na tayong CV. So ano lang, I guess I'll tell you the next step. The next step is obviously, you will need now to target kung ano yung companies na apply. So, madami naman kasi tayong type ng work, di ba? Yung sinasabi namin ni Mario now is more for corporate jobs, so meaning the ones that actually apply to become a full-time employee. I can discuss siguro yung mga side jobs or yung mga gig jobs later with my other guests, but Mario and I will focus more on the corporate jobs. So, Mario, I see a lot of honestly applications, and I'm sure you did too, na I guess pasa lang ng CV, parang more chances of winning kahit hindi naman relevant yung ina-applyan. Or mas malala pa, nag-apply sila and then they don't know the company they're applying for. Why is this why is this a bad thing, Marlo? To ask an obvious question.
Well, I think kasi parang yun nga, parang ginawa lang nilang raffle yung job selection, na parang they really don't target the companies or even target the jobs that they would want to be in. Na parang, okay, sige, baka pwede ako dito. Or, okay, customer service, baka pwede naman ako dito. But, you know, when it boils down to it or all comes down to it, itatanong nila, sorry, what company is this? Diba? Or they would even ask, ano po yung ina-applyan ko? Na parang, girl, hindi mo alam yung ina-applyan mo. So, yun. So, I guess it's bad because, number one, you don't, diba, not knowing the job or not knowing of the application that you've even applied for, parang is bad because that means that you're not really interested. Diba? And if you're not interested, how can we even take you in? How can we even consider your application if you don't even took or you didn't even do your homework of knowing the job or even knowing of the company? So right. I guess that's one for me.
Exactly. And I definitely agree 100%. We're not saying that, you know, you need to spend a considerable amount of time. Siguro pag nasa interview stage na kayo, then do so. Pero, kids, students, sanay na naman kayo sa research. Dahil pinagdaanan nyo yan. You know, you don't need to know everything. Just know the basics. Siguro what Mary and I can tell you as a tip is always research yung website ng company if there is. Most reputable companies are worth their salt na hindi scam, will always have like profile somewhere. They don't have a website, look at JobStreet, look at Glassdoor, there are reviews there. At the very least, you just need to know your company profile, meaning ano bang ginagawa ng kumpanya to, what industry is this company in, and then perhaps you can also try to find out yung business model, paano siya gumagawa ng pera. It's very, very important that you understand yung kumpanya na applyan mo. And then, secondly, syempre nag-a-apply ka sa position, basahin mo yung job description na ina-apply. Always remember or keep track of your applications. understand na syempre you guys really want a job, so malamang you have sent out hundreds of applications or so. Pero my suggestion is, also try to make it more organized. Siguro you can send like a few applications today, then tomorrow, para makip track mo. And then always check on the status. You can also always follow up with your recruiter kung walang feedback. And that I guess that just makes your job hunting more targeted.
Yeah. And I also just to add to that, it's also important that you have to be very honest with your applications. Like especially during the interview process, if you think that the job is something parang you don't see yourself doing that job, or parang hindi mo talaga feel or hindi mo vibe for millennials out there, you have to be very honest na parang with your recruiters or with whoever is the point of contact for that company na okay, this is not something that I want, or I don't think that this is for me. So you have to be very honest, because it's not just saves your time but also saves the time of, diba, of the company POC or of the human resources or the recruiter, na parang you would go through all the pains of the hiring process, and then at the end of the application you would just say no, or you would just decline or just withdraw, or worse, hindi ka na magpaparamdam, diba? We call that NCNS people, bigla ka na lang mag-iniya or missing in action. So yun, so that's very important that you also need to be very transparent. I guess it also pays to check the company values. Parang if it's aligned with your personal values, especially, di ba, mga fresh grads, maano yung mga yan ngayon, na parang, I want a company na they support work-life balance, di ba? So you also have to do your research na, apart from checking the website, maybe you can also check the social media pages, and just check the culture of the organization.
That's correct. I think another thing that we forgot probably to include is, it actually is a good practice to keep multiple CVs. Siguro mas relevant to sa mas experienced na tao, but depending on the company that that you're applying for, you can always tailor fit your CVs to a specific position to highlight some of your more relevant skill set. So yun, that's a good practice as well. It will just increase obviously your chances of getting noticed. And sometimes actually for me, I like cover letters, or at least like a cover email that is tailor fit. But that's just me. Ibang recruiters don't like cover letters, they don't even read it. But it just shows that basically that you really took an effort to tailor fit that, which I think means that you're taking your time talaga for that application.
Yeah. I think cover letters are really good, especially for fresh grads, kasi nga, di ba, parang their CVs are already concise So parang with the cover letter, it just adds up to, di ba, what they can bring, or what they can bring to the table basically.
Right. And please guys, watch out for your grammar, spelling, and punctuation. I cannot stress
we're very particular.
I'm not gonna comment on that. Although yes, obviously naman, especially if you're applying for multinational companies, it's not being strict or parang discriminatory. Kaya lang, it's more of like making sure that we respect the organization, kasi especially if you're working for multinationals, Mario is working with a lot of different nationalities, so am I. So if you have been given an opportunity, how can you do your job effectively if the level of communication is there? So let's make an effort there. Okay. So Maro, yung estudyante natin, yung fresh grad natin, very good siya. Na-screen yung CV niya. Ngayon, in-invite na siya for interview. Ano lang dapat niyang gawin? What will be his, I guess, strategy? How does one prepare for an interview?
Well, I guess number one, you have to keep your communication lines open, because this is something that we face on the daily, JR, diba? Na parang, when we try to contact someone, number one, hindi sila makontak. Number two, if we try to even message them, they don't respond. Diba? Until such time na parang mag-respond sila like a week later or 2 weeks later na na-fill na natin yung job. Diba? So, I guess yun lang din yung advice namin, na parang one way to show respect and to show interest in the company that you're applying for is to keep your communication lines open, 'di ba? If someone texts you or messages you na parang okay, what time will be the best time to contact you or to interview you? You just have to really be, again, transparent and be honest na you can be contactable at around this time. And you have to ensure na you're really available at that time. Because the moment that we contact you, and biglang hindi ka naman pala, pwede na naman. So that also, again, adds weight to your application and to the turnaround time of your application. So there. And to prepare for an interview, I guess ang magiging advice ko lang dyan is to take all the interviews that you can. Kasi that's one way of practicing, number one, your communication skills. Number two, how you respond to questions, especially the open-ended ones, situational ones, the behavioral questions. So that's number two for me. And then to prepare for it, again, it all boils down to you doing your research of the company, because during the interview, you also have to tailor fit your answers to the company's primary motives, diba? To the nature of the business, and again, to the company values. So that's 3 points for me.
All right. To add to that, no, um, if you are a fresh grad, obviously the expectation is you don't have any experience, probably internship experience lang. No? It will really help greatly if you have a complete understanding of the job description. So, ano naman yan eh, like for instance, most companies will have like a recruiter and HR interview first, and then in that stage, you will have an opportunity to understand their role before you actually move on to the hiring manager interview. So from there, obviously, if you don't have experience, you just tailor fit basically each of the responsibilities to what is the closest skill set that they have. So for instance, if you're interviewing for a recruiter role, di ba, malamang wala ka namang experience talaga interviewing sa corporate, but perhaps you have had experience if you came from like as a like social science course na you have also done interviews, di ba? So it's like that. It also entails like a good understanding of your own skill set. Kasi remember guys, a job interview is basically sales as well. You're selling yourself. And what's the best way to sell your product? What to know your product? So kailangan alam mo yung kaya mong ibenta sa sarili. And to what date. Basically. So yeah, in addition to also what Mary said for in preparation for interviews, yes, aside from doing your research, again, take a look at, this company's pages. Glassdoor is a good resource. Meron doon actually listahan ng mga possible questions or yung mga actual questions na tinatanong ng mga hiring manager. Or if you have a friend, let's say na also already working, or even a friend who's a recruiter in HR, try to ask him or for his or her help to conduct like a mock interview. Kahit naman hindi just look for someone who's willing to like practice with you doing these interviews. Yeah.
Tsaka don't be embarrassed about not having experience. Ganun talaga fresh grad. We all went through that, diba? Even kami ni JR, nanggaling kami sa ganyan, na wala kaming maisagot kasi wala kaming experience sa part na yon. But I guess one way of answering, behavioral or say situational questions that would really gauge your soft skills would be trying to find parang a situation that's closely related to it. So say for example, nagkaroon ka or you are a part of an organization in your school, diba? So, and then nagkaroon ka ng mga leadership roles doon, or perhaps nagkaroon ka ng mga situation wherein you had to handle difficult people, or you had to deal with conflict or whatnot. So those are the things that you can also relate during the interview. It may not be corporate job related, but at least that's, diba, again, that's something that would really gauge your soft skills.
Okay. So Mario, we're done with the interview. What will be the way forward then? What should the fresh grad do next, do you think?
This is the waiting game. The
It
waiting
is.
game, whether he passes or he fails, diba? So if he passed, then, diba, wow, I mean, you already landed job. But if you fail, what happens? Diba? So I guess the advice is to not lose heart. Diba? Again, it happens. It's the reality. You can't, or things can't always go our way, and that's okay. If you fail the interview, then you take that experience onto the next interview. Or you
Exactly.
perhaps you can ask the interviewer, 'di ba? Na parang what do you think, or ask for feedback, like a comprehensive feedback. Ask where did the interview go wrong, or what perhaps can you improve on your end, para that's something that you can learn, na aaralin mo siya, so that for the next interview, that's something that you can already apply.
Mhm. Exactly. I don't really have a lot to add to that, no. But definitely, guys, like Marian and I have been mentioning, Marian, don't get intimidated. Interviews, ito, laging tatandaan to. Interviews is always a two-way street. It's a conversation. It's not like the hiring manager or the recruiter just asking you questions and expecting, di ba, an answer. It's a two-way street. And any like good recruiter or hiring manager worth their salt will respect you enough to actually ask you if you have any questions. So, and then,
Yes.
opportunity niyo yun. And actually, guys, yun, always have questions. Because
Yes.
it really bodes well, or it tells us a lot that either you're curious or you have critical thinking. Kasi we can't say everything in like a 30-minute or 1 hour interview kahit na gaano katagal yan. There will always be a gap there somewhere. I'm sure that you're really curious about. And then yes, the for feedback, not just siguro interview feedback, you can always ask us about the timeline.
Mm.
Unfortunately, Marian, I know this, meron talagang recruiter or HR people na hindi talaga mabait or hindi sila parang kapulito mag-work. Sometimes they just ghost you. So, ask for a timeline. Like, when do
Mm.
I expect siguro to hear back from you kung ano yung
Yeah.
feedback? If it's positive or negative. And then, if na, kung di man ganon, ask me yung next step. Kung pumasa ka, ano mangyayari para at least you also know and compare it with the timelines, especially if you're having other interviews. Okay?
Yeah.
Always empower yourself as an applicant, even if you're a
Yeah.
fresh.
Yeah. I would have to agree to that. You know, you request for a timeline, you deserve um proper setting of expectation. So if they don't get back to you, then ano mangyayari, 'di ba? Parang you feel like you're just in a limbo. So you just have to ask, when can you expect feedback, and then what happens next? Say if you passed or if you fail, when can you reapply just in case? So those are the questions that you can ask. And again, we like questions. We love questions. It shows us that you are interested in the job. Maybe a few questions that you can ask is, 'di ba, what are the skills that are required for the job, or di ba, what, say for example the company overview is not that clear to you, then maybe you can also request the recruiter or the interviewer to give you like an overview of the company, like how long has it been in the industry, what does it do, ano yung organizational structure. So those are the things that can really, or that could tell us that your interest is picked.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. So, good news naman, pumasa na si candidate natin. So, si fresh grad finally will enter the workforce. So, yeah, Maro, let's start first with the offer.
Mm.
Kasi I'm sure you have heard this parang Twitter something before, like that they mentioned a fresh grad. Okay, with some internship experience, good internship, international experience in internship, who asked for like 60K for a starting salary. Now, I'm not gonna delve into that. Siguro let's
Yeah.
talk. Let's start na lang at how will fresh grads siguro not really negotiate, but what should they expect siguro on their first salary and all.
Hmm. Yeah. So, number one is to, again, do your research, diba? That's something that you've been doing for, diba, for the longest time. Now, during the 4 course year, or parang hindi nga, 4-year course rather, or parang hindi nga lang, diba, even when we were in high school, diba, we're doing our research. So, do your research, check the market standards. That's number one. Like, meron tayong mga websites na where you can check na how much is being given, say for 1 to 3 year experience, and then for this particular job, and then for this particular role. So if you've checked your market standards, and then you've compared it to the offer that's being presented to you by the company, then you will be able to see na, or observe na, okay, so this is really something that I can get at this
Mhm.
point. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, this is what Mario and I also do all the time. We do market research kasi salary is, always something that we need to be competitive. It's just more of an internal HR matter. Pero guys, I hope that you don't set like too high expectations kasi standard naman to across all the companies and we always base the pay on the experience. Okay? So if you
Yes.
don't have any actual corporate experience, then obviously we can't really expect to be paid that high. The only thing usually we consider is you have like previous certification. Like kunyari, if Maro is already a licensed nurse, even if she's an entry level, then definitely she'll expect to get hired than someone who is not, you know, licensed, ganyan, something like that. Or if you have had internship, some companies take take it into consideration as actually part of our work experience. So unfortunately Mario and I can't like give you like a specific range kung ano yung acceptable or not. Kasi depende talaga yan in your type of work,
Yeah.
kung saan industry
Yeah.
kayo. For us lang, you just, again, do your research. It doesn't have to be Google. Actually, word of mouth is sometimes like a bigger, I guess, a bigger point of information. If you're from the BPO, just ask around. Kunyari,
Yeah.
like kung someone who was hired as a fresh grad, kung magkano yung sahod niya, ganyan. You know, and then you can base it if it's something that you can accept. Pero Maro, monetary stuff isn't the only thing naman that we should consider, right? So,
Yeah.
what do you think, like, from your wisdom, money isn't everything. Even if you're just
Yeah.
using your first job, what else do you think our fresh graduates can consider before accepting the offer?
Yeah. So before I answer that question, I just want to piggyback on your point na, oo nga, pero one way to also benchmark is to ask around. And then if you've gotten like multiple offers, then better, 'di ba? Kasi you can always compare yung offer ni company A between offer ni company B, or say meron ka pang company C and D. So at least you can always compare. But aside from the monetary expectations, you can also take a look at the labor standards. Ano ba yung dapat mong nakukuha bilang empleyado? Ano ba yung rights mo bilang empleyado? Yung company mo ba nagbibigay ng sapat, or say may de minimis benefit? Yung tinatawag namin na de minimis benefit. So ano ba yung mga yon? It's composed of rice allowance, what else? Meal allowance, clothing and laundry, or yung medical allowance natin. So you always have to check kung ano yung standards, labor standards natin here in the Philippines, and if the company is really providing such. Number two, you can also take a look at the non-monetary benefits. So say for example, company A offers, sabihin na natin 10,000 pesos. Pero on top of that, they also offer allowances, or say they offer medical coverages or insurance coverages. Whereas company B only offers base pay. Tapos wala pang mga ganong benefits. So that's something that you can always weigh in. What else do they what else pa ba aside from that? So of course, contributions is very important, 'di ba? Si company ba to nagre-remit ba on time sa SSS, sa PhilHealth, sa Pag-ibig, and even sa taxes? So very important that you also check if your company is a responsible employer.
Right. That's actually correct, and we can discuss that next on how do you actually do that as a fresh grad before they start working. But I want to also piggyback to, obviously Mario talk about, about the salary, the benefits. All of these are obviously extremely important. There are some non-tangible things that you consider, but obviously this is individual to you as a person. Paano talaga hanapin mo, di ba? Some companies do offer like a lower salary, but siguro yung kumpanya na yun is sobrang tagal na sila industry. It's very well known, so quite stable as compared siguro to a startup. If you choose to be in a startup, na sometimes there will be less stability, I guess. So you can always think about yung stability, what is in there for you for future training. Some companies probably offer lower basic, but they actually do paid training, or paid certifications that you can always use in your next employer. Pero, diba? So probably mas mababa yung offer dito, pero baka may free training naman, that's free certification. Those are things that you can consider, especially if you're in project management or even in engineering. Mahal yung mga ganyan, or IT.
Or
And,
IT.
Or next, actually, although this will take a really wise person to pull off, diba? But honestly, something I learned, transferring to different companies. It's really priceless to be able to work with people that that can actually care for, and to look for a leader actually that will become your mentor.
Yes.
Yes. So if you siguro during the initial interview, you can also ask like more about what your teammates will be, how they are, and then most of the time naman the one who will interview you as a final interview will be your boss then. Try to get a gauge kung mag-fit yung personality nyo. Kasi your first mentor, I would say, will be extremely important to your future development. Siya din, nakaasa din sa kanya yung magiging learnings mo, promotions mo. If that's something that you can gauge already, so umpisa pa lang, I think that's also something that you should consider pag nakahanap ka ng ganun tao. What do you think, Maro?
Yeah. Yeah, I would have to agree to that. Your first mentor is always the most crucial, or the most crucial person, in your career. Why? Parang magulang yan eh, 'di ba? Sino ba yung una nating mentors? Magulang natin, 'di ba? And they helped us, or they shaped us to be the people, or yeah, the person that you are today. And same goes with your first mentor in the corporate industry. Na parang siya yung tatayong magulang mo, and whatever he teaches you, it will always be something na parang you will bring wherever you go. And it's very important that that person is someone that, na even if you're no longer in the company, you can still call as a mentor, or parang someone that you would always look up to, because this person has taught you a lot of things and has, helped you to become the corporate person that you are
Mhm.
in your future. So yeah.
Right. And not everyone naman is lucky to have this. So, it doesn't have to be like a deal breaker. Tsaka hindi
Yeah.
minsan talaga hindi mo naman siya malalaman sa umpisa. So, I mean, I just put it out there. But, don't let it like confuse you. Obviously, mas importante pa din na yung values or yung culture ng company is in line with yours. And obviously, you're not getting underpaid. That's very important. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so you accepted the offer. Then, Marlo, what do they need to do? Ano ba yung mga government requirements and provisions na kailangan nilang gawin?
Nako, marami yan. Hindi, konti lang naman yan. So, everything, again, is made convenient naman na, especially na in the digital world, na parang you don't really have to go through the process of lining up in the government agencies, but it pays to check pa din. So, of course, the first four would always be your SSS. Your TIN number is very important. And then your PhilHealth number as well as pag-ibig number. So, ito yung apat na dadalhin mo kung saan ka man pumunta. Very
Okay.
important that you have this for.
Ano ba dyan yung dapat sa employee yung maglalakad yun? Ano dyan yung sa employer yung maglalakad yun?
Actually, yung first four na yun, pwedeng si employee na yung maglakad eh. Pwede na sa employee na talaga yung maglakad. Yeah.
Actually, yeah, part siya actually ng journey nyo guys. Malalaman yun ng employee na kayo. Also, you get most companies will usually require you to do a medical check and also like a background check. So, dito na sinasabi yun, mapasok sinasabi ni Mario earlier na they need references. So, yun. So, but congrats guys, if you have done all of these, then sinabi ng recruiter ni HR na, okay, you're all clear. Your first day will be this date. Obviously, the most important thing is to actually show up for your first day and make a good
Yes.
impression. Ayun. And, pero that's it. That's the journey, no, Marlo. We started from a person graduating, what they need to do next, and then now on your first day. Really, the advice I can say is learn as much as you can from your first job.
Mhm.
Learn as much as you can from your mentor. Don't forget to ask as many questions. And yeah, how about you, Mara? What will be your advice to our day one starter?
But I guess it's worth noting, I think it's worth noting that you also have to check whether it's an on-site job or
Mm-hmm.
a work from home job. Kasi magkaiba yan. On-site job would give you that feeling of excitement eh. Kasi diba, you get to meet a lot of people, you get to see the place, you get to have a feel of the facility or diba, of the office vibe. But if it's a work from home job, what happens then? So you also have to maybe ask questions around the tools that you will be needing, or the tools that the company would be providing in order to support your diba, work at home setup. So those are the things that you can also ask. But again, first days are always crucial. Parang nung unang araw mo lang sa school yan eh. 'Di ba? Excited ka. Hindi mo alam, nangangapa ka, wala kang kilala. So same goes with the corporate, but I guess the only difference is that bayad ka na eh, 'di ba? So ito yung time na babayaran ka na. This is where the real, sabi nga nila, parang the real battle begins, because you not only have to prove yourself, but you also have to ensure na parang you get all the learnings, 'di ba? Or the opportunities that you can get from that company.
Right. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for us, guys. And Mara, thank you so much for joining us today. Your wisdom has been a very good addition, and I'm hoping that the youth who are listening to this would have picked up a lot of information that can help them with their journey.
Sana.
We hope so.
Hopefully. Pero 'di ba, I can still remember yung parang yung unang bet. Alam mo yun, like kanina habang nag-uusap tayo, parang nagpa-flashback sa akin yung mga nangyari. Did you even have like yung parang someone that you would call a first mentor? Did you even have that?
I did actually. We're still somewhat friends today, obviously. Pero wala na kami masyadong communication. It was my first supervisor when I was in Tanatech. Also, we haven't, but we haven't really worked talaga for a while kasi parang borrowed resource. May hindi sila sa Tanatech naman, they pull someone from other sites and then gano'n. So, yun nga eh. But this person really gave me the first opportunity to move on. Kasi I started basically doing puro call-outs lang. So, I was like an agent doing lots of call-outs, and then this person have trained me to become an interviewer, and then I had eventually handled my. So that's that's really where it started, diba? So masaya when remembering how far you've come, diba?
Yeah.
So,
I feel old.
I know. So I hope that our viewers, especially mga new grads natin, will take inspiration. You don't need to follow our journey, pero ito namang sinabi namin ni Mara, this is what worked for us, and also basically our opinions as professionals, as HR professionals. So definitely, I'm hoping that probably will talk to some of you guys very soon as well.
Yeah. And then, it may be a cliche, but you just really have to trust the process, diba? Na parang wag kayong magmadali. I know there's a lot of pressure right now, considering that, again, you have to land a job, and then there's a lot of instability going on around. So parang, diba, the anxiety is really there. Mm-hmm. And we understand that. We've been there. We are still there. So it's okay na you have to go through that talaga. You just have to trust the process. And may sabihin ako kanina, nakalimutan ko eh. But yeah, that's basically it.
Right. So ayun lang. That's it for us. Mario, thank you so much again. We're glad to have you, and we hope to get you back, especially for our future series. Tutuloy natin yung journey ng Fresh Grad obviously. Perhaps we can do another session on the first 6 months, siguro on how on career progression. Pero hindi na rin, well, it's still youth, but it's not Fresh Grad. Or we can always take a look at siguro the journey before, like in college.
Yeah.
But we'll get there. Okay. But thank you so much for your time, Maro. For now, this has been JR for Vox Podcast, and we're signing off. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Bye-bye.